Good afternoon and welcome to Newsbeat on Metro TV. This bulletin is also live on DSTV channel 277 and is also streaming live on Facebook, Metro TV, and on Twitter, Metro TV. Coming up in the headlines. Poultry farmers make a desperate appeal for government intervention due to their inability to purchase feeds for their birds. Government, through the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, commenced an ambitious project to refurbish and modernize all major tourist sites across the country. Any news from elsewhere? Wildfire hits southern Spain, forcing 2,000 people from the town of Benavides to evacuate their homes. There's and many more coming up in the next 1 hour. Now to our first story, the National Democratic Congress has marked its 30th anniversary with an assurance to rescue Ghanaians from the harsh prevailing economic conditions. The national chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Samuel Ofosuampofo, whilst highlighting the achievements of past NDC administrations, challenged the current NPP government to a debate on which party stands tall in running the affairs of the country. Other of the party also spoke at the event.
The NDC is a great party, and we must all be proud of it. The NDC has contributed to the development of the country more than any other political party in the Fourth Republic. Let us be proud of our achievement. We must be proud of our achievement in government and out of government. We have lived up to the motto of the party: unity, stability, and development. We have brought unity in this country. We have brought about stability to this country. To cap it all, we have certainly brought unprecedented development in this country. Therefore, we have every reason to celebrate the party 30 years. Going forward, we are focused on re-equipping, retooling, repositioning our party to prepare ourselves to win the next election and form the next government. God be our helper. We will surely, inshallah, we will surely win and form the next government.
We adopted the slogan of a rescue mission for the 2020 elections. Unfortunately, that mission was not quite accomplished. But developments since then has made it more imperative for us to continue with the agenda to rescue this country. And if there is anybody here who doubts whether Ghana needs to be rescued at all, compare the situation we are in today and draw your own conclusions. But I believe you agree with us in NDC that this nation actually needs to be rescued.
On behalf of the NDC Minority Caucus, let me convey to the national leadership of our party our warmest felicitations and best wishes at 30 years anniversary of the great Akatamanso family. And to assure you of the determination of the group to work with you and the grassroots and all other structures of our party to rescue this country from the non-performing party referred to as the New Patriotic Party.
I want to acknowledge the unsung, unknown heroes and heroines. Many people who may not have come up to the limelight, but whose contributions we know are useful, they are helpful, and perhaps without them, we may not be here celebrating 30 years. And my prayer and my hope is that those who have passed on, may they rest in peace. Those who are alive, may we all be reminded every day, every moment that we have a charge to keep.
Now, it is the 30th anniversary of the National Democratic Congress, the party's 2020 flag bearer and one of Ghana's former presidents, John Dramani Mahama, has called on government to welcome criticisms whilst protecting journalists across the country. According to him, the safety of journalists and free speech is essential in deepening the country's democracy.
In a Facebook post to mark the 30th anniversary celebration of the opposition National Democratic Congress, the former Vice President John Dramani Mahama underscored the relevance of democracy and charged the governing New Patriotic Party to work hard to safeguard it. According to him, the National Democratic Congress genuinely believes that the essence of democracy is to make life better for all citizens. John Mahama noted that his party always strive to create opportunities for all Ghanaians, irrespective of ethnic, religious, or political affiliation, every time they had the privilege of leading the country. He emphasized that the NDC also believes democracy goes beyond enriching family and friends because it involves using the nation's resources responsibly to address the felt needs of all Ghanaians. He noted that democracy, transparency, and accountability are bedfellows, and therefore, while creating opportunities for all, leaders are also required to wage a strong battle against corruption. The former head of state also added that the NDC knows that a media called into silence and an intimidated citizenry do not constitute the appropriate resource for sustainable progress and national development. He therefore believes that the ability of citizens to express themselves freely is a right and not a privilege. John Dramani Mahama says the Akufo-Addo-led administration must learn to tolerate criticisms and enhance free speech while protecting journalists from harm.
Away from that, the Executive Director of Solidaire Ghana, Benjamin Essuman, has called for a review of the Constitution which guarantees the payment of salaries and ex gratia to Council of State members as part of Article 71 holders. According to him, the payment of huge sums of monies to public sector workers must cease if government seeks to protect the public purse. He spoke in an earlier interview on Inside Pages.
Payment system,
yes,
which has been existing since 1992, thereabout, and which has now reached a level virtually keeping us poor and asking our government every year to go begging
right,
to balance our budget.
right,
If we have such money, as we calculated,
yes,
almost 50 million Ghana cedis every 4 years being paid out to by calculation it was 24.
Yes.
And I proved to you that now it's 30. So virtually to go about more than 50 million, to go about maybe 70 million. So we are proud as a country to pay 70 million cedis every 4 years to a people who have served their time in public office, who have gone on retirement and received their ex gratia,
right,
who are on monthly salary as a result of the fact that they served at the top highest positions. They were at the zenith of their careers. We fought those who promised to protect the public purse and came to office and have refused to protect the public purse.
So what
If the president, after saying that I'll protect the public purse, had instituted measures not only about ex gratia being paid to successful Ghanaian citizens who have been asked to come and sit and advise him as Council of State members periodically, but to look at the complete protection of what we call our national kitty, we wouldn't have been here having this.
Secretary aspirant of the New Patriotic Party, Charles Bissu, however, insists the president is already protecting the public purse.
One of the government officials who returned their, who's had cards and all that, has published this. So what actually informed Toby, the eminent chief, from for doing that?
to go public?
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying, that if you're done quietly, because it's not everything that has to come out there, but with time, people will come out. But my brother Ben was saying that the president said he was going to protect the public purse. Yes, he said so. But then if we come out and say that he said he was going to protect the public purse, so he should have actually instituted something or pertaining to ex gratia. And then I beg to differ, because when he said he was going to protect the public purse, there were areas that he's done. You understand? The paperless thing at the ports and all that. So there are other areas. Maybe the president was looking at other, and there's something called opportunity cost. So what he's saying is right. Maybe we have to look into that area now. Now that Afede has done that, maybe we have to follow suit and then trigger the conversation. That I disagree.
Away from that, on the construction of the National Cathedral, the Executive Director of Solidaire Ghana, Benjamin Asuman, said it is not prudent for government to be using the taxpayers' money to construct a cathedral, whilst the ordinary Ghanaian wallow in economic hardship. Charles Bissu, on his part, believes the National Cathedral will promote peace and religious tolerance in the country.
Further, when you read 2 Samuel chapter 24, verse 18, that land particularly had been bought by King David. Ahead of Solomon's coronation, the land had already been secured by David. And the land was not occupied. Yet, King Solomon of our time decided that he will pull down buildings that the state has spent money to build. He will pull down offices of the passport office of Ghana and make way for the building. And in compensation of that, you will go and secure another land and resettle those offices and those buildings that the state has lost. The president orders for the release of over 16,000 Ghana cedis in about few weeks to the elections of 2020. And yet, the Auditor General's report to date has not been able to capture that amount of money. We have only found out that those monies were paid when the order for the payment and all that were done. In 2 years after that. I'll be surprised that the Almighty God, the great architect himself, will be so pleased to come and reside in a building that is fraught with such opaque and destructive beginnings, and which other people's livelihoods have been distracted as a result of it. I'm sure God will not want to stay there. God will not want to stay in a building that is about, currently the situation is about foundation level. Almost 200 million Ghana cedi has been spent already. And yet, this country doesn't have money to pay allowances for national service personnel, to pay other essentials of this country. Other pregnant women are being carried shoulder high to cross bridges in this country. And yet, God is so happy that we should invest 200 million of our taxes into a project that has not even reached foundation level.
I would look at the benefits of it eventually. You see, the way he's talking, he's saying that people have been evacuated, taken out. But those areas, I think it was government lands, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the government lands.
So it wasn't like going to people's homes, private homes, and taking them. These were government lands that judges were actually living there over the years. And then the government thought that this is the area where we put the cathedral. We did a certain area. It's closer to our parliament, the International Conference Center, and all that. So it's, you situating it there would help the country. Now, money that goes into it, yes, it's a Christian thing. Our population is majority Christian. And then we have the Muslim, which is about 17, 18%. But we have a powerful edifice for the Muslim community, which was built through proceeds from the Turkish government and all that. And the government comes in and says, okay, let's do another one. Because if you look at this country, the unity between the Islam and Christianity alone, okay, it's very important. It brings unity between the two faiths, right. Okay? So having peace in this country is worth more than billions of dollars.
Now, away from stories from inside pages, poultry farmers within the Bono region have not been left out of the recent downward trend of the local poultry sector. One such farmer, Metro TV visited at Dramani Dekusi, poured out some frustrations as hundreds of farms are at the verge of collapse due to their inability to purchase feed inputs such as maize. They are calling for pragmatic steps by the Ministry of Food and Agriculture in order to stop the total collapse of their businesses.
Nema yeye enkuku aduane no ni nyina boa yedin ama sese ya no yentimi ensum aburo boa yedin a sese ya no maxi bag kra no yeton no 450 Ghana cedis mini bag 175 ewo do ma ha saa nso na soya nso so yeton no be 300 Ghana cedis na wheat sese nema America ni nyina ne boa yedin nti se we aduane ba ko a 1 ton no e cost be 4,500 Ghana cedis up to 5,000. Actually, say, would the aduane mamboa na mfaso a eba mu no enye ade a eso ani enti enye nwa se moba ha na mo se buo no bebre gu ho a se no se ye gya adwuma no ye na se ya yo mu no sebe mpraduasa ye de ensa to abrewadu ani mu ntino yentimi njai krakra enya sa nkasa amre mu baaye no obi akra ni farm ha metu nipa bi awa enti sa planting for food and jobs omo so e de abro baaye no ye poultry farmers de ye hu ni sa ye nje hu ni se e ye adwuma bone na papa na ye wo ho no oka e de frefra nipa ni keke na nya no kre nika anka na me kokoro dos no na me wo nipa be 15 to 20 and as I say adwuma no call fam no nipa aka me no mo ye adwuma ye 3 nipa me ensape na che say wo hwe omo a omokọ ena omo amaka na che say asem kese pa na ya to Ghana ezan say enya me nko a me nuanu mo aka nyina de me hu no saa na omo su nti omo nyina ma nipa no dodo na akofie akra bi na wo mu a ye ne omo ye adwuma.
His farm is now having just about 5,000 birds because of the difficulty in purchasing maize, which is a 60% component of the feed. And it is because maize is now being purchased at about 450 Ghana cedis per maxi bag. And the 50 kg bag sells at over 170, 175 Ghana cedis. And he says this cost is unprecedented and they are unable to buy. And this is causing a whole lot of problems because they are not able to feed their birds, and so they've had to cut down on production. So they are not able to go in for a large number of birds, such that 20,000, he now keeps just 5,000. He has laid off almost all of his 20 farmhands. Now he has just 3. So he's saying that this is also causing, this would help in bringing up the number of social vices, because these youth are unemployed. And how do they take care of themselves? Where is their source of livelihood? And a lot of farmers are in trouble. They owe, they are in debt, and they find themselves hiding from their creditors. And they are calling on the sector ministry. Quite a number of the issues that have been said, you've heard it for yourself. He is talking on behalf of other farmers because he's a former chairman of the Poultry Farmers Association here in Doma. And so he is calling on government and the sector ministry to be up and doing to see how best they can rectify the situation in the poultry sector. Because other math that we have put together confirms that there can be employment of about 1 million jobs in the local poultry sector.
Moving on, head of the Niodoikwao family of Osu Niodoikwao II says he is prepared to explore all legal means to protect the Achimota forest land from being taken over by faceless individuals. Speaking to Metro News, he noted that the land belongs to the people of Osu, hence attempts to steal from them would not hold.
The battle over ownership of the Achimota forest land arises amongst families in Osu following the news of the late former Lands Commission CEO's will of portions of the land to his relatives. The battle intensified between head of the Odoikwao family and the Member of Parliament for the Ododo constituency, Edwinelante Vanderpoy of the Owu family, who claim to be the custodians of the land. Speaking to Metro News, head of the Oduekwal family, Ni Oduekwal, said the land belonged to the people of Osu and not any individual or group. He noted the Oduekwal family is ready to go all out to ensure faceless individuals do not possess the forest reserve.
He has a fukonfwe lulu kradi ayenji akposo kradi ayenji akposo asafu konfo kradi ayenji akposo kradi ayenji. It is ours. They cannot take it from us. We will fight and take our thing. It belongs to the Osu people, not the criminals called the Osu Stulu. It belongs to the Osu people. So Osu people will rise up.
He shot down allegations by the Ododo MP over his legitimacy as the head of the Oduekwal family.
I have never acclaimed myself as a chief. I am the head of the Ni Oduekwal family of Osu, and I have been known as such. I used to be the treasurer of the family, and the one I took from is Mrs. Eugenia Afarijan, the past electoral commissioner, the wife. She is our relative, so I took over from her when she was sick.
Ni Oduekwal, while commending government for initiating the Green Ghana project, also entreated the police to arrest individuals who have illegally sold portions of the Achimota Forest Reserve.
We're going for a quick commercial break. Do stay. Welcome back from that commercial break. Let's do more stories now. Government, through the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, is investing $10 million to refurbish and modernize tourist sites across the country. As part of this agenda, the National Museum, which has been shut since 2015, has been renovated and now open to the public.
A museum housing some of Ghana's ancient artifacts and rich history. The vehicles of Ghana's former presidents, including a 1957 Cadillac used by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, can all be found here. The museum was closed in 2015 to pave the way for renovation. Now opened, it is expected to attract 120,000 visitors annually.
To assure you that, Mr. President, this facility will never ever be closed down for lack of maintenance. It will never ever. We have had a model, a business model that will make sure that there's always money, there's looking to keep the museum going and bring a lot of tourists.
President Akufo-Addo launched the Beyond the Return campaign in December 2019. The 10-year plan envisaged that we engage Africans in the diaspora more positively to transform the African narrative to one of progress and prosperity, and to harness and leverage the global talent and resources of all Africans to build a united and confident community of Africans and Africans in the diaspora. Part of the Beyond the Return agenda is the Homeland Return Bill, which will be placed in Parliament this year.
President Akufo-Addo says government is investing heavily in the sector to boost economic growth.
Government has committed $10 million United States dollars to rehabilitate and build a number of tourist and heritage attractions, including the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, the Cape Coast and Elmina Castles, the Menchia Palace Museum, the Gwiwa Palace Museum, and the Yah Santua Museum, among others. As we reopen the doors of this museum to the public, there's great hope from us that the development of the museum will enable the history of Ghana and Africa to be told in a manner that inspires hope and confidence in our youth, and which will illustrate that our culture is a true expression of the African identity.
He urged the tourism minister to work hard to meet his proposed revenue targets for the sector.
And so, our history trapped in a building of how many years? When we have learned to trap our history in a building, it simply means we have trapped time. When we have trapped time, we have trapped civilizations, we have trapped journeys, we have trapped our medicine.
Roads and Highways has taken stock together with Krowo Municipality Assembly over 15,000 seedlings to plant nationwide to ensure Green Ghana project is materialized. The sector minister, Kwesi Amoakwata, said the fight against climate change must be a fight against deforestation, challenging individuals to be ambassadors of Green Ghana project.
Statistics have revealed that African countries are the least contributors to climate change, contributing less than 4% of global emissions. It is in this spirit that last year, the government launched the Green Ghana project as part of an aggressive afforestation and reforestation program to fight climate change. The need to plant more trees for shades and control global warming effects propelled the Ministry of Roads and Highways and the Krowo Municipal Assembly to plant over 15,000 seedlings nationwide. The minister, Kwesi Amoakwata, said it is imperative for Ghanaians to support the government to sustain the Green Ghana project.
My ministry alone is expected to plant not less than 10,000 seedlings. That we took custody of. Elaborate plans have been put in place to ensure that today we plant that quantity of trees to support what is being done as a national exercise.
He stressed professional, religious and cooperative associations must prioritize afforestation and reforestation as climate change mitigation actions at the local level.
You don't just plant the trees and abandon them. You must make sure that they are nurtured to grow. It's just like giving birth to a child. If you are a responsible parent, you give birth to a child, you must ensure that the child is raised properly to become a useful citizen of our country.
According to the Chief Executive of Krowo Municipal Assembly, Joshua Botti, the climate change remained a global challenge that required coordinated global and national action. He believes involving school children for the Green Ghana initiative will work to perfection.
Our focus, or the focal point, is the schools. The first one, we do not focus on the school, but this time we are focusing on the schools. And then we are going to make the Education Directorate, headed by the director here, to take charge with the teachers and then the school children. Normally, when you are doing a project and you let the children buy into it, you can sleep and sleep well. So that is what we are doing. Our focus is now to really plant the trees in the schools.
He said climate change threatens the attainment of sustainable development as it resulted.
Now, Compassion Ghana, as part of efforts to protect the environment and in commemoration of the Green Ghana agenda, have begun the planting of some 19,000 trees across the country. According to the National Director of Compassion Ghana, Kobna Yeboah Ochiri, their aim is to protect the environment for future generations. He held deforestation in the country must be brought to an end for the sustenance and survival of the human race.
Our children and the youth to thrive. They need to thrive in an environment that is protective. They need to thrive in a place that provides all that is necessary for them. And so we see the tree planting as part of our sustainability agenda. As a child-focused, a Christ-centered and a child-driven organization, it is the reason why we are partnering with the churches, the communities, our opinion leaders, and even the youth themselves to plant over 19,000 trees today. But moving forward, we are going to plant even more. We've come up with an idea from my team that for every child that we bring onto the project, we are going to plant one tree. And with the over 95,000 children we currently have, what it means is that in the next foreseeable future, we will be in a position to plant over 150,000 trees with a hope that we will contribute to the SDGs, we will contribute to the national agenda. Moving around, we've seen a number of water that are polluted, a number of places which are cleared. In the next foreseeable future, with increasing climate temperatures and others, we believe that if we do this, it's going to create a nurturing environment that protects.
Away from that, now Acting Director of Internal Communication of the Environmental Protection Agency, Helen Isiama, has urged the public to refrain from the indiscriminate dumping of plastic waste into our gutters. She was speaking during the launch of a religious leaders and stakeholders advocacy on plastic waste management by the Lights Foundation in partnership with the UNDP.
Waste infrastructure has failed to keep up with Ghana's economic growth, leaving its capital, Accra, drowning in plastic trash. Street and waterways in Accra and other urban areas in Ghana are regularly inundated with single-use plastics, including shopping bags, pure water plastic bags, plastic takeaway food boxes, and water bottles. Due to dysfunctioning municipal waste management services, residents in urban areas in Ghana regularly burn plastic waste in the open, releasing highly toxic substances into the environment. The launch of the religious leaders and stakeholders advocacy on plastic waste management by the Lights Foundation in partnership with UNDP's SGP project is to achieve zero plastic waste management in Accra through partnership with religious leaders. Chief Executive Officer of the Lights Foundation, Sheikh Ali Abubakar Napari, expressed hope that the project will help change attitudes.
We on this particular project, you know that we've been working with the religious leaders, as we all know the connection they have, and religious leaders can be classified as a grassroots people. They are always in contact with people at the grassroots level. So whenever you have a message to send across, not everyone has television or listen to radio. So a program like this are meant to address the grassroots people so that together we can be the agents of change to effect that change that we are yearning for.
National Coordinator of UNDP Global Environment Facility Small Grant Program, George Austin, urged the religious leaders to help in the campaign.
The basic element in the fight against plastic waste is our behavioral change. If we don't change as a people the way we use plastic, no matter how hard the private sector or the collectors will do, the problem will be overwhelming.
Acting Director of Internal Communication of Environmental Protection Agency, Helen Isiama, called for more collaboration with the MMDAs to manage waste in Ghana.
This is a good time for us to engage with ourselves and also dialogue as to some of the things that we can change ourselves. Because some of the things that we do, if we don't change, it will go a long way to come and harm us back. Because we realize that these plastic, people will be just throwing the plastic everywhere. I don't know whether you've noticed. And some of the things that comes with it is that we see the recent floods.
Moving on, the Glorious Hand Foundation in Koforidua, which has had some challenges in accessing stable power, has received a 10-kilowatt solar energy system. There is more in the following report.
The Glorious Hand Foundation in Koforidua first started in 2014 at Dramani, Asikuma by a German-based Ghanaian, Beatrice Domevi, and currently has about 240 children. Though the home supports vulnerable such as HIV patients and deprived children, malaria as well as other factors have compounded the woes of the foundation, which has for long struggled to pay its electricity bills. The presentation of a 10-kilowatt solar energy system has therefore come to ease the burden of the foundation.
We are seeing that solar is increasingly becoming a key electricity component for homes. And taking a look at this orphanage, we don't want the children here to lack power for any reason, whether it's power outage from the main grid or because of the high cost of power, they are not able to afford it. So we are giving them such a beautiful system, and this system is to help them make sure that they are 100% on electricity 24/7 to ensure that they have enough power to do their homework, to do their activities, and to have a very young and vibrant life.
Director for the Glorious Hand Foundation, Postal Thompson Kansa, was grateful for the presentation of the solar system for the school.
We are grateful
It's an eye-opener to the community, to the district, and to the region. I use this opportunity to appeal to Ghanaians. We know the problem of electricity and how it affects the citizens. And if we all can divert to solar, it will reduce costs and it will help us all.
An additional 5 kilowatt storage battery system to the solar installation will enable the foundation to have 24-hour power supply.
Now, the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission has organized a seminar for the media at the conference hall of the Tertiary Education Complex as part of efforts to strengthen collaboration with the media fraternity.
On August 21, 2020, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo assented to the Education Regulatory Bodies Act 2020, Act 1023. Part 1 of the Act established the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission as a merged entity from the ISWA National Council for Tertiary Education and the National Accreditation Board. Speaking at the seminar, the board chairman of GITEC, Professor Kwame Boafo Arthur, explained the rationale behind the first ever media seminar of his outfit, noting that his outfit considers the media an important stakeholder in the development and the attainment of goals and objectives of the Commission.
Media, which is the fourth estate of the realm, has played and will continue to play a vital role in Ghana's development. This is why it is critical that the media have a full understanding and appreciation of the work of the Commission to enhance its performance of agenda setting and watchdog roles so far as the tertiary education landscape is concerned.
At the seminar, Professor Mohammed Salifu, who is the Director General of the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, noted that the Commission is to regulate tertiary education in all its forms with a view to promote efficient and effective management, provide consistent quality of service, advance the application of knowledge, and develop appropriate human capital.
Says the President is the only one who grants that, and he may do that on the advice of the Commission, given through the minister to grant charter to a tertiary education institution to enable the institution award certificates, diplomas, and degrees. The grant of charter also provides for effect of charter. It tells you what, as an institution, you've been empowered to do under that. But there's also another one. If you've been granted charter, it doesn't mean a lifetime right to do whatever you like. There's a provision for revocation or variation of the charter.
He called on the media to help GITEC to maintain vigilance and hold tertiary institutions in the country accountable.
Away from that, the leadership of the National Health Students Association of Ghana is calling on government to set the record straight on the challenges affecting the group's membership in the health sector and to demand the immediate intervention of government towards an amicable resolution of the issues.
We cannot belabor the issue of the current hardships that everyone is complaining about. And on top of that, we have colleagues who rise up every day, go to work, exposed to nosocomial infections without being paid their meager allowances that they have worked for, while others continue to stay home without hope of being posted to hospital facilities to work and be able to earn their income to honor their responsibilities. Ladies and gentlemen, these interns are under Ministry of Health, and as we speak, since September 2021, our members who are currently doing their service, what we call the health interns, that's the allied health and some nurses, have not been paid their allowances for 9 months after taking up postings and picking transport to work as the state requires them to do so. Our colleagues are still without payment of their allowances. We do not think this is acceptable. 2019 second batch of nurses and allied health group. Friends from the media, another concern for us remains that, as we speak, we still have some batch of the 2019 nurses who have still not been posted. Unfortunately, the allied health group is also part as well. We've had reports of a later batch, some who completed in 2020, being posted based on their willingness to pay through. We have placed our trust in the system defined by government.
Away from that, now the Ghana Army is for the first time participating in a large-scale multinational counter-terrorism training exercise in Morocco. Officials explained the main objective of the training is to improve the Army's ability to play and conduct counter-violent extremist operations. There is more in the following report.
You have realized that our brothers from the Air Force have been very instrumental in lifting us up for our training in Ivory Coast and now to Morocco, Agadir in Morocco.
The exercise, which is codenamed Exercise African Lion, will bring the Ghana Army to train alongside the American, Moroccan, Senegalese and the Tunisian armies. Addressing the pre-departure parade at the Air Force Base, the Chief of Army Staff, Major General Thomas Opompepra, reiterated the need for joint operations in the Ghanaian Army and called for personnel to exhibit excellence during the training.
Joint operations is imperative, and therefore I use this platform, this opportunity to thank the Chief of Air Staff and all the officers and soldiers of the Air Force for the assistance they've been giving to the land forces. As he said, when you get to Morocco, you are ambassadors of this country. So comport yourself very well, stay focused on what you're supposed to be doing, and ensure that you excel, as you did in UK and in Ivory Coast.
Just as the personnel prepared to be airlifted, other officers were also taking their promotional exams. A senior officer proud to take off describes how relevant the exercise is to the Army and Ghana's security.
Going out there to meet other special forces helps us to get an idea how other people go about their duties. So we go there to learn as well as also showcase what we also have. And this is good for the troops, especially because it also builds our confidence. I tell you, for Cambrian Patrol, Ghana did very well. It was among about 5 countries that were noted for their performance. In Flintlock, we excelled so much.
Exercise African Lion is scheduled to begin from Saturday, 11th June to Thursday, 30th June 2022. For Metro News, Shadrach Odame Ejari, Air Force Base, Accra.
News Beat continues after this break. Do stay. Welcome back from that commercial break. Business news is next. The Director of Research at the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Philip Abradu Otu, has called on all stakeholders to work hand in hand to restore confidence in the economy. Speaking at the Financial Literacy Workshop for journalists, he noted some factors that have affected the economy, causing a loss of confidence, hence the call.
Ghana's economy has not been stable for some time. This, some industry players blame on rising inflation, global uncertainties, among others. In the keynote address by the Director of Research at the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Philip Abradu Otu, at the Financial Literacy Workshop for journalists, he admitted that Ghana's economy has been going through trying times, which has led to loss of confidence in the economy.
Transparency is possible when accurate reportage informs the public and the exact nature of developments in the economy, as well as real implications of actions taken by policymakers are pursued. Therefore, the bank's engagement with key stakeholders, such as you today, is necessary to foster the creation of an informed public whose accurate grasp of economic and financial issues are crucial to guaranteeing the smooth functioning of the economy.
He then mentioned some solutions that will contribute to mitigate the issues and restore confidence.
And institutions are working to deliver their best, then together with sound pursuit of monetary policy actions, these should help re-anchor inflation expectations, regain macroeconomic stability, and restore investor confidence in the economy. As an inflation-targeting central bank, the bank views transparency as key in promoting credibility of the bank's policies.
He has therefore urged institutions such as government, private sector, the media, among others, to contribute to restoring confidence.
Now, when was the last time you bought a loaf of bread? Did you observe any change in price or size? This is because bread prices recorded the highest inflation of 41.35% for May 2022.
The red-hot oven of Bethel Brothers Bakery, located in Ghana's capital, Accra, has turned many loaves into an exciting brown, with men gathering busily and shaping dough into hundreds of rolls. The bakery, founded nearly 25 years ago, has sold many loaves of bread, but spiraling inflation could soon shut its doors.
Really, the whole thing started from last year, June coming. Every month they will increase flour, not just flour, sugar, margarine, all things that we need to produce bread have been increased, some on monthly or weekly basis, and it's really affecting the bakery industry. Whenever you are trying to stand, then an increment will come, then you need to go back again.
Item that recorded the highest rate of inflation for the month of May 2022 was bread, with an inflation rate of 41.3%, followed by bars and trotro fares, which has the highest rate of 5.8%.
Bread prices have not changed, a situation that has put the bakery at a disadvantage. Producers do one thing to stay in business: reduce the size of the loaves of illegally high prices to stay afloat. Sean's delivery service has been hit too by the harsh economic conditions. He can no longer afford fuel.
Yeah. If you are doing genuine business, something you are doing, you are working, at least there should be something that should keep you in business, should keep you working, should keep you going. If they talk of inflation, and then your business is cropping, I'm a Ghanaian. I'm a born and bred Ghanaian. I've never traveled anywhere before. This is my country. And if I cannot make it in my own country, then where am I going to make it? Where?
A Deputy Minister for Agriculture in charge of crops, Yao Frimpong Ado, has assured fertilizer suppliers that government will soon pay them. The minister considered that although the suppliers have not been paid for the past 2 years, his outfit has received assurances from the Finance Ministry that soon funds will be released to them. He spoke to my colleague, Engineer Akofa Kumi.
The COVID thing, and then the second one was the Ukraine-Russia. Whether we like it or not, whether anybody believes it or not, the truth is that Russia supplied about 40% of our fertilizer needs in this country. So if no fertilizer is coming from there, you should know what's going to happen to us. And moreover, and that is the truth, the ministry owes some of our fertilizer suppliers, and we've been doing business with them since 2017. They supply us upfront and we pay them later.
So far, how much is owed?
No, I cannot put my finger on the total cost, but I know that in 2 years, 2020, 2021, we've not paid
any of them.
Why has government not paid fertilizer suppliers? For which reason they are not able to give to the farmers?
Yeah, exactly. It's a very difficult question to answer. Looking at the nature of the global economy, the kind of situations every country is going through. Ghana is not an island. We were also affected seriously. The growth rate that we targeted for 2020, 2021, no, a lot of countries grew negatively. Ghana, fortunately, grew at 0.4%. At least it was positive. But it affected our revenues. We are just appealing to our suppliers. We've been dialoguing with them at the ministry that it's okay if government owes you, no matter what, government will pay.
But it appears the dialogue is not working because
no, it's working. The quantities that we need, we are not getting the same quantities. But you see, nature has been so good to us. We just need some small quantities, and when we get good rains, we are going to have good harvest.
Honorable, food prices are up. The prices of tomatoes very costly.
Yes.
Everything is basically up. Inflation is now 27%.
Yes.
Ghanaians are crying.
We know. You see, the situation, as I've been saying, is that this year has been extraordinary. But every year during the planting season, food prices go high. This year, the drought that happened last year, it's not happening this year. It's raining well. So we sympathize with everybody in this country. I go to the market myself, and I know that all the prices are high. But it is just up to, let's give ourselves August, September, and let's talk again. And you see if we will be.
Well, that's it for business news. International news is next. A wildfire has hit southern Spain, forcing 2,000 people from the town of Benavides to evacuate their homes. The blaze started on Wednesday, 8th June, in the slopes of Tertiary mountain in the Sierra Bermeja above the Costa del Sol, a popular destination for British tourists for the Andalusian coast. Helicopters were deployed to try and extinguish the fires, and authorities said 3 firefighters have been injured while trying to tackle the flames. Emergency agencies deployed almost 1,000 firefighters, military personnel, and support crews Thursday to fight a wildfire in southern Spain that has forced the evacuation of some 2,000 people amid fears that torrid weather may feed the blaze. Authorities raced against the clock in the dry, hilly area of the Andalusia as Spain's AMET weather service said the country could be on the verge of a heat wave. Temperatures were forecast to reach well over 30 degrees Celsius and to increase over the weekend. Well, that's all for the news on Metro TV. My name is Harriet Addy. Have a great day and enjoy the rest of our programs.